Good morning and welcome to the lovely world of beer. We're going to start off with Budweiser today, being our large-scale brewery. Adolf Busch in 1905 stated it is an aim to win the American people over, to make them all lovers of beer. So Adolf Busch in 1857 moved to St. Louis from Germany and began his day-to-day work at E. Anheuser and Company, which later changed names to the familiar Anheuser-Busch Brewing, before Busch became president in 1880 due to his father-in-law's passing. So this ad here is one of the first. It has this handsome-looking man, you could say, on the front. Says Budweiser, where there's life, there's Bud. In the little caption on the bottom left-hand corner, it states, "Know him? He's the easiest man in town to meet. Just visit your friendly tavern and ask for Budweiser, the king of beers." So they claim to be all-American, everybody's favorite medium body lager. In 1913, Busch had passed himself and left the company in the hands of his sons. And then on April 7th, 1933, the Clydesdale was introduced to the Budweiser Company as two gifts from Busch's grandkids to their father. They gifted 6 Clydesdales in celebration of the end of Prohibition. This marked the start of a very well-known Budweiser tradition. These Clydesdales, along with 6 others, traveled all over the East Coast and Midwest for marketing purposes after Prohibition. And nowadays, the Budweiser Clydesdales reside in barns in St. Louis, Fort Collins. There's one in New Hampshire, and then there's one in Merrimack. And then they can all be visited by the public. They have scheduled times for when you can come and see the Clydesdales. They're always groomed, always dressed to the nines. There's a whole section on their website that explains everything about a Clydesdale's life at the Budweiser Company. And then on March 30th, 1950, the Dalmatian made its appearance with the Budweiser brand. They provided companionship for the horses while traveling, and also generated a new marketing tool for the company. So they have just a few beers that they offer. There's the traditional beer, that is their original. There's 5% alcohol with 145 calories, medium full body American style lager. And then you have this select brand that they came out with, which is marketed as remarkably flavorful but distinctly light, being 99 calories, so a little bit better for you. You can get an even lighter version of that. That's going to be the Select 55 at only 55 calories. And then they had this weird brand called Budweiser and Kalmado. It's called a Chilada, a savory new spin on a classic American lager with the rich savory flavor of Kalmado and a hint of lime. Pairs well with Latino dishes, and then they also offer a picante flavor, which is said to have a little bit more of a kick. This has 5% alcohol and 186 calories. This is some of the marketing that has accumulated over the almost past 100 years with this company. They have a brand in NASCAR. These are their beautiful Clydesdales with the little Dalmatian and the 2 carriage men, along with their lovely cart and bundles of beer. Then you have this famous commercial, This Bud's for You, which started their This Bud is for Everyone, all-American type thing. You've got it at Thanksgiving dinner, all-American branding around specific U.S. holidays. And then the next brand that I looked into is going to be a small craft brewery out of Connecticut. They are called the Black Hog Brewing Company, and they are located in Oxford, Connecticut. They were founded by Jason and Tom Sabatsky. And then they hired a old-time family friend called Tyler Jones, who claims to be the Lord of the Liquid. He is a chemical engineer and father of two, and he's the mastermind behind all of the different brews that they have come out with. One of the ways that I found that they advertise is through the Squealer Club, sorry. They have coupons, merch, stickers, exclusive offerings on private events and parties, and then they also have open to the public events, and then public tastings in their tasting room from 4 to 8 p.m. Almost every day in the summertime, and then it's mainly just on the weekends. They have a whole bunch of different ranges in beer. They have a hog lager, they have a farmland series, which I thought was really cool. It based a lot of their extra flavors in their beer, and even like the hops and the grains to come from local Connecticut farmers. Then there's the Disco Pig series, the Bush Pig, the year-round beers. There's about 8 of them. I listed the beers on here. On the bottom left, you'll see the Easy Ride and the Ginger Ninja, and then the Granola Brown Ale. Those are a few of their year-rounds that they offer. And then they've got the THC series, which is the Hop Collective. And then they have a bunch of specialty beers, barrel-aged beers, and seasonal beers. They do a lot of local advertising. They're found in a lot of local restaurants, but only in a few liquor stores around. But they also do like cool dinners, like the 1-year anniversary, and then the Flag Day as well. And then for the regional craft brewers, I did another Connecticut brewery that started in Stratford, Connecticut. It's called the Two Roads Brewing Company. Their philosophy is to take the road less traveled. That's what their company is based off of. They were established in 2012 by 4 friends. Their names are here: Brad, Phil, Clement, and Peter. They have backgrounds of chief marketing officers. There's a master brewer who has a background in engineering. There's another engineer, and then there's the Peter was actually the CEO and project financial manager at a shipyard. So they all come from super different backgrounds, but they started this brewing company on the philosophy to take the road less traveled. They have a lot of IPAs, and they were featured in one of the top 10 beers in the nation. They offer tasting rooms and themed events. They have an event calendar with something marked for every day in the entire month. There's some meals that are provided with cool local food trucks. There's also bring your own meal. There's a bunch of others too. And then another really cool thing that they offer is a 12-pack shuttle. So it's located in like more of a downtown area of Connecticut. No, there's not too many, but there's not a lot of parking around the area, so they offer this 12-pack shuttle, which you can literally just text it near the nearest train station that you're at, and it'll come pick you up. And then they have expanded all the way to other states like Colorado, Washington, D.C., Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Virginia, and Vermont. They only have one brewery that's located out of Stratford. That's their only brewing location, but they are sold in liquor stores in all of those other following states. And then they also partake in local events that are held in like major cities in those states as well. So I thought that was really cool. Definitely a great way for them to get their name out and kind of put more of like a personal touch on their advertising. But both Two Roads and Black Hog didn't have really a lot of public advertising per se on like TV and in magazines, where Budweiser had a lot of advertising like that, and they also had a bunch of different merchandise that fit every sport possible. Like, there was just so much stuff for Budweiser. But the cool thing that I found out about when I did the research on Two Roads and Black Hog Brewery was that the two of them, the only advertising that they do is locally. It's all through cool posters and handouts and little events. And then they're also in like all of the local big name restaurants that everyone's going to. Not the, well, I mean, they are in the local chain restaurants, but they're also in like the smaller restaurants. They were definitely in they were up a few times in the restaurant that I worked at, and everyone always went crazy for them. This is more of like a word of mouth type of advertising that they rely on versus the big in your face TV and billboards and stuff like Budweiser did. So thank you for listening. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in class shortly.